and my girl stepping out in the all black. Little bit turn on her feet, don't know how to act. Pulling up to the scene with a top back. Money ain't even a thing, cause we got that. No drama, no drama. Leave it at home for your crazy baby mama.
Y'all, I can't get over this lighting. Okay, this Saturday is just like, I'm not here for it. Today was supposed to be a lazy day for me, but I got shit to do. I want you guys to come with me.
Okay, y'all, so it's kind of dim in here. I got it as bright as I could without like shining the ring lights or whatever. I'm sending out emails to who I need to send them to.
But I wake up and I like nothing's wrong. Just living for
So I just got done writing this email. I'm going to put out the name, just covering up the name because obviously like this is something that is under, this is for the management of a bigger artist, an artist that's actually signed to Capitol Records. So I wanted to make sure that it was as private as possible. But yeah, so this is an email. I'm just writing back to him because we had a conversation the other day. So I'm about to send it off. Let me show you my recording part. This is just one of my lights that I use for my reaction videos. This is the camera that I use for my reaction videos. This is the Canon T7i 30mm lens. These plugins right there, the first two plugins are dynamic plugins. It basically acts as like a vocal compressor. Third one, I love a distortion sound, especially if I'm doing like a pop. I love the distortion, that dynamic delay, honey. That's gonna give you that echo. And then the EQ, of course, I gotta have a couple EQs. I have a total of 3 EQs in there. And what that is an equalizer, and it's just balancing out my vocals. Because at the end of the day, it's a demo, but I want it to sound as crisp and as much of a radio hit as possible because I want the people to buy it. Like, you enlisted me to be your songwriter. You trusted me with a project of yours. So I want it to be perfect, you know? So
let me be your motivation.
Mute the main vocals so you can hear some of my background on here, which is super cool.
I want you to.
Ooh.
I want you to.
That sounds so creamy.
Oh yeah. But I want you just.
So in my background, like when I'm doing songwriting and I'm doing a demo for somebody, I want it to sound like a radio hit. So all of those plugins that you saw in my Pro Tools, I'm mixing down the beat. I created this beat on my own, by the way, okay? And most of the time I don't make the beats. Like when somebody asks me to be a part of like their project or they want to collab or something, they send me beats. What I do is I create the background, I write the song, and I literally record it. Whenever you're doing songwriting for people, BMI screen, you go to Works Catalog, and this is where all of your songwriting will come from. The royalties. Come through royalties. I can't have a songwriting video without talking about BMI royalties. So you'll go here when you're ready to submit or you're in process. So you'll just add new work. And then it will say, what account would you like to add this work from? It'll say, what account would you like to add this work from? I'm trying not to show my account. But then you select the type of work you're registering for. Make sure that it's as in-depth as possible. And what this does for you guys is just make sure that you're protected and that you're getting your royalty checks, okay? It is imperative that all registrations, both the songs and the cue sheets, be received as close to the performance date as possible, okay? So basically register your shit as soon as you get it on wax. That way, if it is on the commercial, congratulations. Or if your song ends up making placement on like an artist, a huge or an established artist that's signed to a label, if it makes placement on a record, congratulations, number one. But BMI is going to make sure that you're protected and that you're getting royalties every time that song is being played to the public. There are other forms of payment when it comes to your music. I use TuneCore for all of my music. It's a distribution site, basically. All of my music that I have on streaming platforms is distributed through TuneCore. And that is where you can get your,
I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. But that is where you can get your surface level payment, your upfront payment. So every time somebody streams your songs, you are going to get payment for it. I have to pay for it to stay on iTunes, pay for it to stay on Spotify. So I leave that money, whatever I make on TuneCore. Sometimes I'll get on there and I be itching, y'all. I be itching to be like, transfer to that bank account. But then there are times where I'm like, I'm gonna just let that shit pile up. I'm gonna let it do its work, you know? So yeah, those are the ways of getting paid for your music. Almost 6 o'clock, so it wasn't that long of a day. I did a little bit of recording and I showed you guys the BMI, I showed you guys the TuneCore, I showed you guys how I start up with songwriting, and just like what goes on in my mind and how I approach songwriting. I listen to the beat first and then I come up with the vibe of the song based on the beat. And then I just, most of the time I just freestyle and then lay it down, you know? So that's where it's at. So you saw my BMI, you saw my TuneCore, my emails. You saw and heard some of my music as it pertains to which artist wants what. The Normani sounding record that I showed you earlier, did it sound like Normani or was I giving you like stale gray value? Let me know. I want to know because it helps out. It helps out if you want to say something good. It helps out with my ego as well. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I love you and I will see you next week on my next video. Bye.